Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Song Radio Show. I'm your host, Leon Jones, and this afternoon's topic: are blacks finally leaving the Democratic Plantation? Are blacks finally leaving the Democratic Plantation? Yes, they are. Now, I know what's going on now in the world of media, whether it's social media or mainstream media. They're talking about Kanye West. This is what I believe. When it comes to politics, you have to look at what you're for instead of what you're against. Many black people always look at what they're against. Now, it's obvious that many of us are against sexism and racism. That's a no-brainer. But when you ask a number of black people in the political aspects of what's going on, what are they really for? Because if you look at every city in this country, most of them are run by liberal Democrats. And what do you have? You have a bunch of areas where there's Planned Parenthood, high crime rate, high unemployment rate, high out-of-wedlock pregnancy rate, a lot of these government programs, and they're not working. And what has happened, the blacks who are waking up are finally noticing that their vote has been taken for granted by the Democratic Party. This is why President Obama really didn't do anything for black people. Although you still have some who say he did, but under him we had a high unemployment rate, higher than the national average. But what's going on now, black people like Candace Owens, Kanye West, I know Dr. Thomas Sowell, he's already been awoke. Dr. Walter Williams, Larry Elder, these individuals are called coons by black people. And these black people like Michael Eric Dyson, Michael Baisden, and I like those gentlemen. Very intellectual. Tavis Smiley. These are ones who are basically leading a charge on CNN to destroy any black who wants to think for themselves. And I want to tell every black person out there, we're not supposed to be monolithic. But it's about time that some of you have come to your senses. Now, I'm not going to say Kanye West is a figure of politics. He does sound a little schizophrenic, but through what he's talking about, you sit down there and listen, it's the truth. He just doesn't know how to present it correctly. But I've always said, as an African-American male, the Democratic Party is definitely not for you. And if you don't believe me, look at the Child Support Act of 1996. That was set up by then Bill Clinton. And what did that do? That put a number of African-American males in jail. Look at what's going on now. There are a number of African-Americans in jail. And I call jail a plantation. I call living in the hood concentration camps. But now if you look at what's going on, with some black people leaving the plantation, the Democrats right now are frightened. And they are going to use any means necessary to try to ostracize any minority who gets off that plantation. But here's the problem. The Democrats haven't been for anything for the last 30 years except for socialism. And I said socialism and Marxism are very dangerous when it comes to government. The government should not be allowed to run your life. Black people have a mind. We don't all think alike. The problem that I see is not coming from white folks, unless you're a white liberal trying to become wealthy over black dysfunction. It's our own black people. And I've always said, the person that you have to watch out for looks just like you. And just because he looks like you or she looks like you, they're not your brother and sister. But yet, black people want to be all inclusive. And along the party lines, you do have some rhino Republicans who own a plantation as well. I saw one of them on CNN. I believe her name was Tara, and I remember her. And the rhino Republicans think just like the liberals. But I have to ask all of these liberals, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of taking another L? Because you're going to take another L during this election cycle because you offer nothing. If you look at what went on with Brett Kavanaugh, that's a big reason why I don't want to be part of your party. And any black person who is part of the Democratic Socialists and you're religious, well, that means you're voting for homosexuality, you're voting for abortion, high taxes, no families, you're voting for government dependency. And I'm going to say something that's going to hurt. You blacks who are still on the plantation, you're the evil ones. You're the coons. Because you don't want change. See, the white liberals aren't going to give you any power. In fact, they only use you as a buffer between the conservative blacks and white liberals. Why? Because the black Negro is going to keep that white liberal safe, because that white liberal is basically racist, sexist. You look at what the white liberal does to their own. Look what they did to Sarah Palin, people like Michelle Bachmann, Ann Coulter. See, when you stay on a plantation with the thinking of these evil people, you're going to become evil. This type of thinking has already gotten into the 5 power conferences of society that I've told you about. And if you don't know what they are, they're your media, your education, your government, your private sector, and of course your religion. And when the indoctrination gets into those major areas of society, we're doomed as a country. So if you're an African American, do not be afraid to walk off that Democratic Plantation. There are people out here like Will Johnson, check his channel out. And there are people like the amazing Lucas. Go to those channels and get educated. You don't need a college degree to walk off the plantation. What you need is to understand what's on the plantation. And what's on the plantation is not good. You got too many blacks who have continued to vote for a party that doesn't care about you. But the blacks who are ostracizing the blacks who want to think for themselves aren't doing themselves any good either. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. African Americans are going to chip away at leaving the plantation. You got to start small first, then and it becomes big. And at the end of the day, they're not going to be afraid of you calling them coons, house Negroes, because the real house Negroes are you Negroes on the plantation. The Dr. Lamont Hills. All these individuals on CNN. See, people like me who watch you on television know what kind of buffoons you are, know what you're doing. You see, the problem with the Democratic Plantation, and we're all slaves, even some of the white folks. See, they want to keep you ill-informed of what's going on because they want the power to continue to keep you at bay. Lock, step, and barrel with their nonsense. Now, we can go back and forth and argue semantics all day, but the Democratic Party is a party of communism. I mean, can you imagine waking up? You have somebody like Maxine Waters in charge of the Financial Committee, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff. These are evil people. Now, there are going to be some African Americans who are going to still stay on the plantation. I think most of the African Americans who are going to be on the plantation are going to be black women. That's just the bottom line, because a number of sisters have been indoctrinated by white feminism. And I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying a number of them. But eventually, a number of African American women will begin to see what's going on themselves. Because they have to get up and slay the dragon every day. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that the Republican Party is everything. I'm not telling you to go vote for Republican. I'm telling you to have an independent mind. Now, unfortunately, we're in a two-party system. And if I have to utilize the lesser of two evils right now, it would be the Republican Party. But the conservatism from the Republican Party is gone as well. What you have with the Republican Party is the old Democrats. That's what you have. And these new Democrats have been hijacked by the socialists, the communists, the people who want to incite violence on other people because they don't agree. Is that what you want? I don't want to live like that. Now, there are a number of individuals out there who are going to tell you that if you vote anything other than Democrat, you're going to be voting for racists, sexists, homophobes, yada, yada, yada. All of the identity politics that we've heard. Now, the question, are you going to continue to go down that road by listening to it? Or are you going to think on your own? Now, it's a good thing that some African Americans are finally waking up. Because black people's votes should not be taken for granted. And black people are not ignorant people. But the people who are destroying one another for their political beliefs are other black people. You already know that the white liberals are going to come at you with vigor and hate. But when your own black people are doing it, that still tells me where black people are. And it's at the bottom. It's very important that African Americans continue to leave that Democratic Plantation. Because the Democratic Plantation is not going to help you. It's not going to help your children, your grandchildren. It's not going to help any future generations unless the Democratic Party changes their philosophy from communism and socialism back to being a centrist party. And I think being centrist, even on the Republican side, that's where most of us are who are everyday people. That makes the most sense because that creates balance. And you have a lot of your media outlets who aren't balanced. A lot of your educational institutes, they're not balanced. And many of us, as African Americans, we don't pay attention to what's going on. Because we love our shows like Power and Empire and Scandal and Have-Nots. Just ask any one of us about the Dow Jones, how it fell 1,300 points over 2 days. Now it went back up 200 points, but a number of us don't know that. Because when you're part of a party who keeps you down, the only thing you know is what they tell you. And this is what the media is being utilized to do by the Democratic Party. And your educational institutions, they want to keep you ill-informed so you maintain your ignorance. And like I said, there are going to be more black people walking off that plantation. And when they see that they have it much better off that plantation, they'll be mortified. And I'm going to tell you this, you liberals, it's going to be a matter of time to where you are out of power. Because we know what your game is. When I hear people like Eric Holder, who's a black liberal himself, former attorney general for Bill Clinton, the rapist himself, and Barack Obama, saying if they go low, we kick them, that's inciting violence. Now, if I went out and told the feminists, well, if I see you on the ground, I'm going to take my AR-15 and put some slugs in you, that's inciting violence. But a number of you Negroes want to affiliate yourself with a party that incites violence, not peace. Now, I believe in a two-party system. We need it because one party running everything can be destructive as well. And like I said, I am not putting the Republican Party on a pedestal because they have their faults. But right now, the lesser of two evils, if I had to vote today, I'd either vote independent or Republican. Because at the end of the day, these Democrats, as a black person, they're not going to help you. I don't think any politician's going to help you. But it's about the policies, the regulations. That's what you have to look at. And the policies and regulations will determine what kind of country you want. Now, you've seen what's happened to now Justice Kavanaugh. That should tell most black people that could happen to you. Look what happened to Bill Cosby. And the reason why Bill Cosby went down, from my point of view, is because a number of blacks didn't like the truth he told about what was going on in the black community. That's why he went down. Not what you think. Herman Cain went down for some alleged sexual assault. And after they took him down, you didn't hear from those women anymore. It's because they did not want black people to walk off the plantation and put their ideas up. Because the Democrats think they have a monopoly on all minorities. But I'm addressing this to a number of black people. Because many black people, at a rate of 90%, still vote Democrat. And right now, the Democrats are desperate. And they're going to continue to sling mud at people like Kanye West, Candace Owens, and any other black who tries to escape that plantation. If you don't believe me, you look around you. Because right now, we're in a civil war between good and evil. It's not conservative and liberal. It's good and evil. And I find that the Democratic Party, they don't like God. And I find that there are a number of African Americans who don't like God. Why? Because they don't practice His principles. I did a video on that a few months ago, and I pointed out why the black church doesn't like God. They use God as a convenience. But as an African American, we should be allowed to have disagreement. We should be allowed to have conversation. Because we all do not think alike. And the blacks on the left, all you're doing is serving these white liberals. Because these white liberals see you as a nigger. That's what they see you as. But you continue to vote for them. That's why you don't have any power. And see, when you are in a Democratic Party, you're just a body, and when they need you, they will call on you. They don't advocate values of family, not like they used to. They want you to be poor. They want to jack the tax rates up high. They want you to have student loan debt. They don't care anything about you. And it's not just black people. It's also a number of other folks. But the black people, keep on educating yourself. Because a number of you are starting to see the light. And there are other people out there to whom you don't know about who are coming out. They just don't want to put themselves out there because they don't want to see what Kanye West, Candace Owens is going through. But they're out there. Trust me. And there'll be more of them who are going to see the light. Because if they find out that freedom is good, they're going to prosper. You will never prosper being in chains. Now, I'm not saying all Democrats are bad. But again, the Democrats, the Scoop Jacksons and the Harold Fords, they're not in the party. It's been hijacked by the leftists. That senator from Hawaii, she's despicable. Dianne Feinstein, well, Barbara Boxer's gone. Kamala Harris, Cory Booker. Don't associate with those guys. Those individuals don't care anything about this country, but they benefit off this country. As an African American, you walk off that plantation and you walk off of it proud and don't turn back. Because at the end of the day, it's nice to see that more of us are waking up. And the trend will continue. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this afternoon, Saturday, October 13th, 2018. You can tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. The guest calling number is 215-383-5785. I'm also going to be premiering a new YouTube channel. It's called The Mind of STEM. And on that channel, I'm going to talk about professions like engineering, HVAC, construction, and I'm going to show you how to do calculations, how to pass the FE exam. That's going to be a more in-depth educational channel. I already have it rolled out. I haven't put any videos up, but I will. But in the meantime, while you're here at the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show channel, like, share, and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show channel so I can continue to bring you that quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Of course, on this channel, I do not engage in controversial issues, emotional issues, or debates, and I try to stay away from most social issues, but sometimes they will come up. But you need to get everything out and open to see where everybody is coming from. Some may like the information, some may not. Like I said on this channel, I'm not looking for subscribers. So I may lose some subscribers, that's okay. Because I want people here who want to learn. I don't want people who are looking for drama, because this is the wrong channel. That's why I don't engage in any unnecessary bickering and drama. This channel is a therapeutic, education, and self-awareness channel. Everything that I present is positive. But I do a lot of research, and I do it for free. So I don't need to ask for donations. I have a real job. What I want is for people to wake up. That's why I started as a YouTuber 2 years ago. And you must understand, if you have knowledge, you have power. And if you have a topic, a new YouTube channel, or business that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, simply email me at lej6521@gmail.com. If you have a comment, please put your comment in the comment section under the video. We'll make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. And that's it for this video. Until next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed afternoon. God bless you.